Coming up next, I'm gonna give y'all a story about a ruthless Italian mob boss who, let's just say, ain't afraid to do something to your family on the outside, even locked behind bars. Stay tuned to the Prison Talk Show. What up, what up, what up? We are back. Who am I? Jersey Street Corner, and this is the Prison Talk Show, people. So, today, I know you saw the thumbnail. Let's get right on into it. This story is about a guy named Johnny Blackhands. He is a member of a certain Italian mob crime family, which I will not be mentioning in this story. No, y'all. You guys will not trick me. Anyway, nobody messes with this guy. It's implied throughout the whole prison. If you mess with him, if you touch him, you will pay, probably with your life. This guy, he's got the COs in his pocket. He's the plug. He's the major plug. The guy you want to talk to if you got money in your pocket and you want to buy a cell phone. Or if you're looking for other substances that may be illegal and harder to obtain. This is the guy that you would go to. Somebody with real clout. Somebody that walks around the jail with bodyguards, y'all. Two big Italians on both sides of him. Muscleheads. Yeah, y'all. They don't play no games. It's way different than what you think in the movies or seen in the movies and stuff like that. Nah. Anyway, y'all. Johnny Blackhands he's a gambler, y'all. His game is blackjack. And he's very, very good at it. Only vets will sit down at the table to play that game of 21 with Johnny. Because the vets know either you're going to pay or you're going to find out today. Don't sit down at that table if you ain't got Johnny's money when he beats you. Because Johnny got his bread. If you happen to win, Johnny is a man of his word. That's one thing I gotta give the Italians. They do keep their word. He'll slide them soups right on over to you if you win. Now, if you're a new guy in the pod, normally they won't let you bet. They won't let you in on the big games because nobody wants to see somebody get beat down or extorted or robbed or raped or any of the above. But when you come into the pod and you a grown-ass man with a big-ass commissary bag and you say, oh, you a pro, you lead on that you know exactly what you're doing, that you know how to play this game, and you fully accept the consequences. Now, the buy-in on the poker game is already starting at 10 soups. That's 10 soups you got to put up just to buy into the game. Now, those 10 soups don't last through the whole game. As you lose a hand, you slide the soups over. You might win a hand, you might grab a few soups. But depending on how good your game is, and how much you betting on each hand, you could walk out of there broke and in the negative, owing people. So, in other words, when you come to play poker or blackjack or big whist or any of those games with Johnny Blackhands, your commissary bag better have at least 50 soups and at least another 50 items in it to cover part of your debt. And hopefully you ain't running the check up too big that Johnny Black gotta put hands on you. And when I say put hands on you, I ain't just talking about put hands on you physically in the prison. Oh no, Johnny Black can reach out. What I said, y'all, Johnny got the cell phone connect. He got the CO connect. Johnny will reach out and touch somebody. And that somebody just might be one of your family members. Do not piss Johnny off. That is what the word is around the prison. And that is the reason why nobody messes with me. So, a new guy would come into the pod. This guy's name's Jamal. Nobody heard of him. He's not gang affiliated. He's a medium-sized guy. He's not a small guy. But he's got a huge commissary bag. And everybody's already sizing the bag up and looking at him. And lo and behold, supposedly Jamal likes to gamble. Now, Jamal had just got shipped in from another prison. Nobody knows just yet why he was shipped in from another prison and what the circumstances were of that. All they see is that big old bag. Now, Jamal will get put in a cell by himself. Excuse me, y'all. And he was used to, having a bunkie. So, he was always locking his stuff up in his locker because he ain't trust his bunkie. That's common in prison, So, being that he's in a cell by himself now, he just said, well, bump it. I'm going to leave my locker open. I'm going to just leave it open. Ain't nobody going to go in there and take my stuff. This is first day in the pod, y'all. So, Jamal will go get his slippers and all his bath stuff he needs, his towel, his rag, his soap, his toothbrush, all that. And he head on down to the shower. He figured he gonna catch him a quick shower before dinner, before they call dinner and last count and all that. Well, he did that. He went down, got his shower in, quick 15 minutes and all that. Came back to his pod. When he came back to his pod, his locker popped up. Just popped open. And he's looking, he's like, yo, half of Jamal's shit was gone. Now, Jamal pissed off, but he ain't fitting to do nothing about it. He don't know nobody in this pod. What he gonna do? Everybody in the pod bigger than him. And let's face it, y'all. Jamal ain't had no heart. Because Jamal did just that. He sat in that cell and he ain't say shit. He ain't go make an announcement. He ain't get loud. He ain't tell somebody he want to meet him in the bathroom. Nothing. Jamal just sat there like some punk. And well, that gave everybody in the pod that knew the play the info on Jamal that he was and they could just take advantage of him. So, y'all, people was conspiring against Jamal from day one. And it's really a shame. They shouldn't have done him like this. But, hey, man, it's prison. And sometimes you got to keep your mouth shut if you really ain't about that life. Jamal was running his mouth saying that he was the best at playing blackjack. Can't nobody beat him. He'd put his commissary on it. And, well, they held him to it, y'all. First big game they had, they invited Jamal. Now, he done went to the store again and ordered more commissary, and they let him do it. Ain't nobody touch his bag this time. They let him do it because they know they had him this time. They had a plan. They was going to get him down at that table and clean him out, y'all. Now, he had no idea he was fitting to meet one of the best players he ever played with in his life. And, not to mention, he is a crime boss. He's a real mob crime boss. And he don't play too many games, y'all. He's not a young boy. He don't play them games. He not going to go back and forth with you. He don't have his goons grab you, hold you, while he's pummeling your face with his fists. And asking you one simple question. Do you understand now? Do you understand now? Calling you all types of mullion and all that shit. Now, let's get to the business. Remember, y'all, I said the buy-in was 10 soups. Johnny Blackhands is already at the table cleaning house. He got a massive pile of soups over there. Now, Jamal, go on down to the table, sit down, put his 10 soups on the table, slide them in. They deal them in, y'all. Now, from the door, Jamal is being cocky and arrogant. So, without thinking, Jamal, his first bet was like 4 soups. You look at his hand, and he like, ain't no way they gonna beat me with this. He got, 18. Man, look. Johnny Blackhands threw down 20, y'all. Yep. Bam! 2 cards. Dang. He was like, whoa. What happened? You lost. They grabbed them 4 soups. Now, deal next hand. Nah, let me get a hit. Boom. Alright, bet. Alright. I'm good. I'm gonna stay with this. Johnny did the same thing. Let me get a hit. He was like, you know what? Let me get another hit. Boom. Johnny, his eyes lit up. He was just like, yeah, I'm gonna stay right there. So Johnny said, what you got? I said, man, I got 19. He was like, nice. Johnny had an ace. Excuse me, y'all. And 2 jacks. Johnny had 21, y'all. He smashed them real quick. Thank you. He had bet another 4 soups. Now, he was down to 2 soups left. And well, he kept gambling, y'all. They said, you want to buy back in? He said, yeah. Don't worry about it. I'll bring it down after the game. Let's just keep playing. He said, all right. So he dealt him in. He lost that whole hand, 10 soups, y'all. So now my man is over 20 soups in the hole. And he said, you know what? I'm going to go see the store guy and I'll be right back. So he goes to see the store guy and he borrows 30 more soups. Comes back to the table. Now he starts playing and he starts winning a little bit, y'all. He turned that 30 soups into 50 soups. So Jamal, he feeling himself now. He like, yeah, that's what I told y'all. I told y'all I was that dude. Told y'all I knew how to play this game. Johnny is just walking him down. Johnny Blackhands knows how to play this game. He letting you win a little bit just so he can take it all back. Well, unfortunately, that's what happened, y'all. Jamal lost all 50 of those soups. Then he started getting into the smaller commissary like tobacco and, soap and hair products and little odds and ends that were still worth money, stamps and envelopes, various things. So Jamal lost everything. Everything that Jamal owned in that pod, he lost it. And Johnny Blackhands had all of it. He won everything. And he wasn't giving nothing back, y'all. He wasn't giving a damn thing back. He won it fair and square. Figure it out. Your people love you. They'll send you more money to order more stuff. Now, Jamal had a problem with this. Like I said, he wasn't a small guy. So if Jamal won the buck, it should have been a little bit of a rumble. But, well, y'all remember how I told y'all they set him up in the pod to see if he's one of those guys or, just a punk that was going to let somebody get over on him. And, well, Johnny Blackhands ain't had no respect for him after hearing about his cell getting robbed. So, Jamal tried to pull Johnny aside on the low after the game and say, hey, yo, Johnny, I don't really think that was fair. I think you was working the table. I can't prove it, but I think you were, or somebody was counting cards or somebody was cheating. Like, I don't really appreciate you doing that to me. Now, if one thing is true about those gangster movies that you might have seen, the one thing you never do is disrespect and accuse a mob boss. No, 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 no. Unless you're trying to get cut up into little pieces or found in a river somewhere, disrespecting a mob boss is probably one of the last things you want to do. And especially in prison. But let's fast forward. The new guy, who obviously hasn't had any prior training, dudes in the county probably didn't like him, so they probably didn't put him on game. I don't know how this could have transpired that Jamal would end up in state prison and not know any of the proper etiquette. Well, I don't know if Jamal didn't notice the two big goons on the left and right of Johnny, but they grabbed Jamal as soon as he uttered one word of disrespect toward their boss. They grabbed him and held him. Johnny just stood there and looked down. And somebody is disappointed and upset when they just look at you in silence and hold their head down. And he says to one of his other goons standing next to him, I don't know what I'm going to do with this guy. I don't know what I'm going to do with him. And, the two guys holding him are like, Johnny, let us take care of him. Let us take care of him, Johnny. We'll make it quick. We'll make it quick. He's like, no. You know what I'm going to do to this guy? I'm going to humiliate him. I'm going to humiliate him. He's going to make me more money in this prison than I ever made playing a damn game of cards. You wanted to interrupt my game? You wanted to steal from me? You owe me? And now you're going to pay. I'm going to make sure that you get pimped out to everyone in this jail that wants you. Me and my paisans, we're going to eat real good or for you and your hard work. We're going to get you transferred to the sissy tier. And you will report directly to me with all contributions for your cause. And Jamal like, what? Hey man, let me go. Let me go, man. Let me go. What the hell y'all think this is? I ain't no punk, man. I ain't no punk. And that shit that Dave Chappelle did in one of his skits, believe it or not, is real, people. It's not a game. Johnny Blackhands, he opened up his palm to his associate that was standing next to him. And well, that was a gesture and a sign for his associate to start sprinkling baby powder all over his hands. All over his hands, y'all. He beating it together with both hands in his knuckles. Johnny walked right over to Jamal. Hey, don't you ever think about cheating me again. You hear me, Mulian? And he gets the beating on Jamal's face. Bang, 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 bang. Powder just puffing everywhere in the air. Johnny a pretty boy. He don't want his knuckles grazed. He don't want no bruises. He put some grease and baby oil all over him. Bang! Stand him up! Stand him up! You son of a bitch! Bang! He just popping off on him. Now, this man, his fate was sealed. You disrespected the mob, homie. So, in prison, there's either two ways it can go. They can unalive you, or they can humiliate you, which is most of the time how it goes, because they actually can make money off of you by humiliating you. By unaliving you, they just add a few more points to their already huge record of clout. I mean, let's face it. A mob boss in prison, and you, a nobody, a street level goon, decide to disrespect them and think you wasn't going to face some kind of justice. Now, the game gets colder and colder, y'all. This guy, Johnny Blackhands, by the way, he's called Johnny Blackhands for getting his hands dirty. They say he's one of the only crime bosses that likes to personally get his hands dirty. And by that I mean, whether it's bludgeoning somebody or, popping off on somebody with that ooh-ah, or, he on that Tommy gun-ish out the window. Pap, 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 pap. Whatever the case may be, this guy gets busy. And, well, that's how he landed himself in prison. Because he liked to get busy. And it don't stop in prison. He still get busy in prison. As implied. So, the game just gets colder and colder, y'all. Stick with me. Things wouldn't get no better for Jamal. Johnny already did the background search on him, his family, any associates that Jamal might know and care about. Oh yeah, the mob has that kind of pull, y'all. He already know everything there is to know about Jamal. So he tells Jamal a few personal things about himself. About his mama, his grandma, his daddy, his cousins, his uncles, a couple of his good friends. Shoots off a few addresses and tells them, hey, listen, either you work for me or I'm going to have to send somebody to each one of these addresses and pay him a little visit. Shake him down a little. See what kind of commissary I can get out of him, if you know what I mean. And Jamal had no choice, y'all. Jamal decided to submit to Johnny Blackhands. He said he would let him pimp him out to anybody in the jail that wanted a piece of him for the right price. And Johnny would let him get a little piece of the commissary, but not much. It was going to be more like an 80-20 split until he paid back what he owed, plus interest for the disrespect. And well, I know some of y'all might be thinking, damn, that's a cold ass deal. He gonna sell his butt? He gonna sell his butt for commissary? Yeah, y'all. That's exactly what Jamal is expected to do. So, and it's very unfortunate, this last part of the story, y'all. I wish it didn't come to this, but Jamal decided he was going to get smart. He agreed to everything that Johnny said in his presence, but well, when he went back to his cell, he started packing up his stuff, y'all. He's sitting there thinking to himself, ain't no way in hell. Ain't no way in hell I'm giving up my butt. It ain't happening, y'all. It's just not happening. So Jamal said he gonna hit the gate. As soon as he get a chance, right before lockdown, he gonna hit that gate as quick as he can. Even if he gotta leave his stuff behind, he'll just take the important stuff he can fit in his pockets. But he gotta go. So that's what he did, y'all. He hit the gate. The CEO pulled him on out. Now, the CEO is in charge of your safety. They are there for you. So the CEO took him out and walked him all the way down the tier to a solitary tier where is only one man to a cell, and it's pretty much like a lockup pod, y'all. A PC pod that nobody's supposed to have access to. Well, remember when I said Johnny Blackhands is a mob boss, a real gangster? He got the COs in his pocket. Jamal thought he was safe, y'all. He tried to hit the gate and run off on his deck. And well, guess who came walking into that solitary room? Not only was it Johnny Blackhands, but both of his two associates were there once again. And this time, Johnny wasn't holding them back. This time, they came to send a different message. A message to his family. Jamal couldn't get with the program. Jamal had to pay the ultimate price. And now he's not going to be a bother to his family anymore. Because that CO gave Johnny Blackhands the same type of needles that they have in the prison on certain wards for lethal injection. Johnny injected Jamal right in the neck with a needle full of some green ooze. And he started going into convulsions immediately, y'all. Fizzing at the mouth, all that. They immediately skated on out of that pod and headed back to where they were supposed to be. The CEO locked the door, turned the camera back on, and kept it moving as if it never happened. Went about his shift. Nobody heard nothing. In the morning, you heard the CEOs get on the radios. We got somebody down. We got somebody down. They look in the cell. Jamal is gone, y'all. Unalive. And well, They had nobody to blame. Something happened last night with the cameras. They gotta have electric come and check it out. I don't know what's going on. Looks like some of these wires are fried or something. I don't know. But from what I'm told, in that mob life, a lot of things happen on coincidence. But hey, that's just what I heard. Anyway, y'all, listen. That's going to wrap this story up. The moral of this story is stay away from mob crime bosses and paisanos because they're not playing games with you. They going to walk the same way they do on the streets and prison. And that's ruthless. So let that be a lesson to you, y'all. This is the Prison Talk Show. Get in the comment box. Hype this joint up, y'all. Hit that button. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Let me know you mess with me. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me see your zip code, your area code, your country. Wherever you from watching this, let me know something in the comment box, y'all. And with that, I'm going to get on out of here. It's your boy Corner. I'm out.